I'm John. This is a story of me and my depression. But it's not a depressing story, at least not now. It was at one time, but that was then. Now is all that counts. Here and now and tomorrow. Yesterday is just something we live through to get here, to today. Of course, it wasn't always today. There was a time when it was yesterday, and the day before yesterday, and the day before that. I've always been a reserved, serious person. Somehow, that seemed right for me. Too right. I have a problem with having fun. Somehow, I used to feel I didn't deserve to enjoy myself. The bad times were terrible years ago. As you can see, I'm not a young man. I came very close to killing myself one of those times. Stupid.
Stupid, what are you doing? Stupid bastard. Stupid! Stupid!
Killing yourself is not about the problems. It's about not being able to stand the pain. But I discovered a neat trick. I learned how to flatten it out, kind of like on an oscilloscope. You know, with those waves going by on the screen? I learned how to chop the bottoms off all those waves. Handy trick that. One catch though. It goes along with cutting the tops off all the upper ends too, flattening out. On top of that, I learnt to back away from things, to separate to some degree. It was all about self-preservation and personal safety. So I lived my life flattened out and pulled back, almost as an observer of my own life. It was as if I was two people, the core me floating in safety nearby, watching the other part of me go through the motions of living. Bad things happened. Divorce, betrayal, bereavement, failure. It was almost as if it happened to someone else. I could watch this other person in his sufferings, but it didn't have to involve me directly. Less pain that way. The cost, and of course there was a cost, was in my successes. Graduation, triumphs, love, all observed rather than lived, diminished enjoyment, a life without sparkle, a life lived on mute. Dysthymia is the name for it now. Chronic depression. No big lows mostly. No big highs. Safety, more or less. But no big rewards. Not much pleasure. Until a year ago, when I asked her to marry me. I've always been a person who swept the bad things in my relationships under the carpet of my mind. I've always convinced myself things were better than they often really were. The proposal just magnified the problems I'd been trying to ignore. Things spiraled down from there. They would have anyway, I suppose, worse and worse. 6 months later, I was non-functional. I couldn't imagine life without her. She, it seems, could no longer imagine life with me. And there were other problems, unrelated to that. But I came to feel that all my power over my life had been stripped away. Until I was backed into a basement corner, with nowhere to go, nowhere to escape, no choices left. My own life completely beyond my control. I was shaking. I couldn't sleep, or I slept too much. I couldn't think. I went through the motions at work. At home, I played computer solitaire for hours and hours and hours. My thoughts ran in endless loops, examining every little detail of what I had said, what she had said, what I had done and what she had done, round and round and round and round, and all going nowhere. Ruminating. I learnt that's what it's called. I tried to understand what I was doing. I wrote a poem about it. Solitaire. Jack on Queen. 10 on Jack. The cards tick out the moments of my life. 9 on 10. 8 on 9. Amble and preamble. Bump in Brownian motion. Through a head too full to be healthy. 7 on 8. 6 on 7. Did she? Did I? If I had, if I hadn't, would it have made a difference? 5 on 6. 4 on 5. The bridge beckons from dark corners on black days. 2 on 3. Ace on 2. Electronic coffee spoons for a new proof rock. Again, I thought about killing myself. I didn't really want to die, but how else could I get the pain to stop? At last I called for help. Doctor, counselor. It's amazing the help you can get when you say the magic words, suicidal thoughts. I went on an antidepressant, Mannix, 20 milligrams. I started counseling, group therapy. Other than having a perpetually dry mouth and constant physical tremors, nothing really happened for a while. But the hope that things might get better kept me going. 2 weeks later, the damnedest thing happened. I was driving along, mood somber. I had the radio off. I couldn't stand the radio being on. What with my constant ruminating, it was just input overload. I'm driving along, and I realized I was smiling. Me. At no one or nothing in particular. Just because. Because I felt good. Down below, I was still depressed. But on an upper level, I felt better than I had in months. It was a bit like a roller coaster. I could feel my mood going up and down for no reason. A weird feeling, but that was the beginning of today. The Mannix took hold over the next couple of weeks. I guess they were right. I had a chemical imbalance, a physical problem, not enough serotonin in my brain. The initial side effects went away. Psychologically, I learned I had what is known as double depression, a situational depression superimposed on the underlying dysthymia. My therapist helped me understand what had happened to me, how I had let too much of myself go in this love affair. All of me, in fact. When it ended, there was none of me left. I worked hard with the therapist to recover my self-esteem, to gradually regain a belief in myself. But as I got better, the side effects of the Mannix got worse. Sleeplessness, terrible cravings for sweets and carbohydrates. I gained 30 pounds in 3 months. Tremors, psychological tension, foot cramps. The therapist suggested I double the dose. To me, that sounded like double the side effects. I said first I'd like to try half and see what happens. She said, okay. I slept for 16 hours. It was wonderful. The side effects pretty much went away. I still felt good. My sleep patterns were weird, sleeping all evening and up all night, but it was way better than not sleeping at all and shaking all the time. The better I get, the less Mannix I think I need. I'm trying a quarter pill now to see what happens. Maybe there will come a time I can get off it altogether. It's an ongoing process, but it's a battle I'm winning. My energy is coming back, and my creativity. I'm happy nearly all the time. Well, happy for me, normal for you probably, and I can be truly happy sometimes, and I allow myself that luxury. I've earned it. I'm worth it. You see, this is a happy story. It has a happy ending, so far at least, as I know the story isn't over yet. In fact, it just keeps getting better and better. I've found that lonely little kid that I hid away inside for all those years, and I've found I like him, and he likes me. We're slowly growing back together again. Together again. Together again.